survival skills. But I would add Lars Lindstrom from Lars and the Real Girl. I would put him on the island. Because if he can have a relationship with a doll, imagine what he could find on the island by himself. So he wouldn't be lonely. He would start a relationship with a tree. I don't know. You know, he would be able to kind of, I think he would have an easy time just adapting to life by himself on that island. Does that make sense? I mean, he retreated into a doll girlfriend, so I think he could find coconuts.
Well, maybe he develops a Wilson type relationship with somebody on the island.
Exactly. He's already proven that he can have a worthwhile relationship with an inanimate object. So if you send him by himself, that's the reason I'm sending him there, is I just think he could find a Wilson and he could rule a bunch of inanimate objects there. That's just what I think. That's my...
Yeah, and mentally, the inanimate would become animate. And I think that would be... You kind of be like a Lord of the Flies kind of thing with inanimate objects.
Yeah. That wars break out, the entire thing burns down. Is Lars on that island again? As far as loneliness goes, that's why I put him on here, because I feel like he could... he could make friends.
Well, that goes to two of my picks, was thinking, how would people, the adaptive nature of being alone for a long period of time. Yeah, I think that's part of it, that social distancing. How do you handle it? And I think that's key to survival. So I think it's well done by you.
I gotta add, this is Lars Lindstrom. All right, who's your third pick?
I'm gonna go with Winston Wolfe from Pulp Fiction.
The Wolf. Oh, he'd have no problem on the island.
Right, because Winston Wolfe is the man who can solve any problem.
Oh yeah.
He's the man, right? And he would have, and just think of a 2-hour movie with the Wolf. And just think of the witticisms, him talking to the trees, just talking to, just the interaction he would have with whatever version of Wilson would be. And then just think about him solving problems.
He'd be bartering with the crabs within a day.
Polite,
yeah.
He's a very polite man, but he knows how to solve problems. That's why you call the Wolf, is to solve problems. I think that the Wolf would be ideal to see for 2 hours on a desert island solving those problems.
His bamboo home would be amazing.
I think that it would be an interesting one because he would figure a way to get off.
Oh yeah, he would build a cruise liner out of bamboo. Like the cruise liners would buy it from him when they found him at sea. He would get crabs to paddle his boat. He would get whales on either side traveling, build the ultimate raft.
Yeah, and he would do it in such an efficient manner. Just be like, but kabing, kabam, kaboom. Like he would identify the problem, and the way his mind works, he would infinitely solve the problem. But the way he would solve it would be better than any of us could have possibly even thought about it. Because we'd be under stress, duress, we'd be missing people. He takes emotion out of it. Here are the chess pieces on the board. Let's not have a conversation of where the chess pieces should be. Mm-hmm. This is where they are. Let's solve the problem. And that's why the Wolf would be ideal on a desert island. Quite honestly, I don't even know how long he'd last on the island by himself, Mark. To be quite honest, I think he would maybe, a day, 2, and he'd be back home.
All right, so here's what he would do. He would do tests, though. So there's different trees on the island. There's different vines. He's not a guy that would make an untested boat he wouldn't take an untested boat on the ocean. He would make variations. He would use the wood, like the different kind of trees, maybe bamboo, different fronds, different ropes, different ties, different mud, kind of different situations. And I think he would practice because he knows the severity of an ocean journey on a raft that is not good. I mean, look at what happened to Tom Hanks in Castaway. He lost Wilson. He would build something, but I think he would test it. So I think he would be on the island maybe, for a couple months. He would immediately start building, but he would have everything he needed and be ocean ready. They would find, like I said, they would find him on the ocean, and whoever saw his boat would buy it from him and then make $1 billion recreating it.
Yeah. So I think you've taken my selection and gone next level on the problem. I don't think it would take him as long though to build that bamboo cruise liner as you think, but
that's going to become a big problem between us. I have a feeling. 2 months, 2 days. All right, so I don't know if you've watched this film, but there's a movie called You're Next, and it's a horror film, and what it's about is this kind of wealthy family gets together for their parents' 35th anniversary. And while they're there, these mass killers start killing them. The problem is, the new girlfriend of one of the sons, she grew up in a survivalist compound, and she's like an ultimate survivor. So she just starts killing all the killers. And then she finds out that the family was in on it too, and then she kills all them too. Like, she takes a blender on a guy's head. But, you think that she's just the regular kind of like a final girl-esque type character, but she turns out to be a total survivalist who sets traps. She sets fake traps. She's like winning fights. She knows how to like take care of injuries from her background of being a survivalist and then wiping out a bunch of yuppies with ease while being outnumbered. And she sets traps. Like, I think she would have the island conquered within a couple days. I know you haven't watched the movie, but it's funny. It's a weird kind of comedy, but I'm a big fan of Erin in that film, so I had to include her on my Desert Island team because I think the island would just quit. I know that's not possible. Islands don't quit, but I think they'd be like, you got us. You won. Here's bountiful coconuts.
I don't know, Mark. I could see nature under certain circumstances giving up. We've seen it before. Thriving garden. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And all of a sudden, if it's not taken care of, it wilts and dies. I could see a human being just through force of will having the island give up. I could see that. Just the force of will.
If you don't want to watch the movie, Sean, Dead Meat, they do a kill count for movies, and it's about 20 minutes long, just so you can see how tough Erin is. She gets stabbed, shot, but I just love her. She knows traps. She knows how to survive.
What is she, like the John Wick of horror films?
Yeah, I would say so. She's like the John Wick of horror films. It's just so funny because the villains are just so comically out of their league against her. Like, it becomes like a comedy almost. They're just so, like, she just wipes them all out, and I love it. So I had to include Erin Harson into my list of my 4.
That's good. Okay. That puts me on the clock. So I got some ideas here, but you know what? I was thinking about this. Part of this is a movie we'd want to see. What movie character would we want to see on an island, and who could obviously not just survive, but thrive? I got to tell you, man, I was really kind of going around some thoughts here, and then a quote popped into my head, and the quote led me to my round 4 selection, Mark. All this man needs are some tasty waves, a cool buzz, and he'll be fine. I'm going Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, buddy. He would do just fine.
Fine.
You heard the quote. You just found out all he needs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a man who saved Brooke Shields and then pissed all of that money away having Van Halen play at his birthday. So he already has the mentality on the island that whatever it is, this is where I'm supposed to be.
He would get pizza somehow out to the island. Do you think so?
I'm sorry?
He would get pizza to the island.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He'd be sitting there and all of a sudden he'd be learning about Cuba, having some food. You know what I'm saying? So I could see him. He would somehow figure out how to he would somehow concoct his own smokable plant life to keep him in a certain state of mind. I think he would construct his own surfboard. I think he would do just and the lack of people. I think he'd actually enjoy it. He would enjoy being alone. Probably the majority of the time, he wouldn't even probably realize that he was on an island by himself.
Knowing
he might be in a mental state where he might still think he's in Southern California. So I think Spicoli is the man, and I would enjoy spending 2 hours in a theater watching him survive on a desert island.
Knowing his luck, I think that we would see stuff like a surfboard would float to the island. A hammock would already be there. Like, his luck would just carry him through all of that. I don't know why. Like, he would just be, oh, wow, a 6-pack. Coors Light, great. I don't know where that flew from, but it's fine. I would love it. It would be him relaxed on the beach.
And don't forget his interview that he did with Stu Nahan. And he said, when you think about the kind of the waves, and don't forget that he told Stu Nahan on ABC after he won his surfing title, danger, is his business.
Yes.
So there you go. I think it's a no-brainer, man.
I want to watch that. I think of all right, so before we go on break, I just want to say I think the movie I'd want to watch the most now is probably The Wolf, just simply because it would be him figuring stuff out, and it would probably be about 30 minutes. So I'm going for that movie so far. That's the one I want to watch. But when we come back, we each have 4 more picks, and we'll see which is the most interesting of all of them to watch at the very end of this. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And hey, since I picked the first one the last go around, I'll let you start off this section. So who's your 5th pick? Who do you got, Sean?
When I envision an island, I guess I kind of, your mind kind of goes to like the South Pacific. I mean, No one's thinking you're all alone on an island, off the coast of Massachusetts or something, right? So, but I started thinking in terms of where would this island be? And more likely than not, you think about some deserted island in the South Pacific. And that got me to think, who owns Asia? Who owns the Pan-Pacific? Les Grossman.
Yep.
He owns that, Jack. All right. And so I started thinking he already owns it. So so Les Grossman is my pick to start off the second and in the 5th round here. I think Les Grossman, he is a natural born leader. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can own a Skype call, as demonstrated by getting the key grip to punch the director. I worry about he wouldn't have enough Diet Coke. So there are some flaws. There's going to be some issues, but kind of like the Wolf, the guy's a problem solver. And you saw at the end of Tropic Thunder, he turned lemons into lemonades.
Yeah, he did.
And he's really good at letting other people think that they had a part, but as he instructed, Bill Hader, a monkey could do his job. He's the man. So I'm going Les Grossman to start off the 5th round.
He would yell at a tree and a coconut would fall. He would.
Oh, yeah.
He would scream at animals and they just run away. Now, I do think he would have one of those withdrawal scenes in movies because of no Diet Coke. Like, he would be in a cave for a few days. He would. I mean, the amount of Diet Coke. He always has Diet Coke. So him not getting his caffeine fix, that'd be an interesting thing. We'd see him kind of weakened a little bit. But when he came out stronger, yeah, I think he would come out like a bear after hibernation and just own that island. When people come to save him, he would charge them for some reason. Like he that would be his island. That would become his new film studio. He'd find out writing tools. He'd write a script in rocks. I mean, this guy, I love it. It's a good pick. Big hands.
And think about it. Let's just say I can see him. Obviously, he wouldn't build a raft to leave. He would build an office. Mm-hmm. Right. And then I could just see him over the course of time. The universe is talking, Mark.
Yeah.
You just have to listen. And like I said, the man, as soon as he heard about flaming dragons, he let them know what they could do with their face, right? He owns the Pan-Pacific. So I just think that regionally, he already knows the area. He already owns it. He's the man. There would be some flaws. Like you said, the Diet Coke fix would be an issue. Obviously, the weight as far as eating. I don't know, but the man's a survivor. The man knows how to make it. So I figured I just like the Wolf. He'll figure it out. So, yeah. So I got to go Les Grossman. I want to see Les Grossman on that island.
He would hate the foliage because it doesn't move for him, though. So he would kind of have to learn some things about himself. Hey, tree, move. And it doesn't move.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's not a perfect pick, man. I mean, like I said, there's definite holes in his game. So that there would be some definite need for some self-awareness and some self-improvement.
There'd be character development in this film.
Yeah. And does he have the mental fortitude of self-awareness and self-improvement? I don't know that answer, but that's why he's a 5th round pick.
I love it. All right. That's a good one. All right. So I got a weird one for you. And I was just thinking about this. In the movie, there's something about Mary. Mary is basically, when you meet her, she's basically like the way the Farley brothers write her. She's essentially the perfect character. Just loves football, super cool, plays golf, really chill. So I'd like to see Mary dumped on an island because just like the Wolf, I think she would just, people, are you okay? Like, you've been here for 6 years. Are you fine? And then, like, she would just have the most brilliant place ever built. Like, all the ropes. She'd have no problems with anything. Like, it would just be the perfect setting. Does that make sense?